Hello and welcome back to the On The Slab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every Friday night. Why we do this on a Friday night? Because Friday night is horror night. Welcome back to the show, folks. And as you can see, Frankenstein has joined us. A few less scars than I was expecting on you this year, but
I still have the shoulder.
the skincare is working for you.
No, the shoulder's still fucked. The ankle's fucked.
You're falling apart at this stage.
No, well, the shoulder's been like that for a while. Ankle, obviously, from a few weeks ago, still
Yeah,
swollen up. So
yeah. You're
could do
falling
with a new
apart.
one. Could do with a
Yeah.
new one.
You fit the bill for this week's movie, Ted.
Just
Falling
about, yeah.
apart.
Just
We'll have to,
about,
we'll
yeah.
have to stick you back together.
Listen, if I became that strong, I'd go for it.
Right. It's been a while since we've done an actual movie review. So we
Yeah,
should be
and a new
jumping
one
in this
at
week.
that.
Yeah, this one was one that obviously we'd spoken in the group chat a few times that we were highly anticipating. What might be the right word?
Yeah,
Ironically, before this got announced, myself, yourself, Ian, and Carl were talking in the group, and we said that. Well, I said that probably the director that you'd want to see do this movie was Del Toro. That was probably 2 years ago.
yeah. I think so. There was a bit of discussion about this, and I think you maybe want a bit of a younger Del Toro doing this, depending on the type of horror you like, because a younger Del Toro might have gone a bit
Mimic
more,
wise.
yeah, a bit more the horror element, like modern horror, to call it that. It's not like it's not modern horror, but a bit more aggressive, a bit more
Yeah,
dangerous. Whereas this is very 70s horror,
plain.
like
Yeah,
not even
vanilla.
70s horrors film, but very like 60s, 70s written horror of it's more about, oh, imagine this was happening to you. Imagine how bad it would
Yeah,
be, rather than, oh, this is just, like he's a monster. Like he kills a few people, but he's not like mental aggressive. He's not like destroying towns or anything.
yeah. Um, Obviously, if you can't guess by the name and the title of the show that you've seen before you clicked in, we are talking about Del Toro's Frankenstein. That was released earlier this month.
Yeah, my biggest thing for this was I was surprised that it didn't do a cinema release. But I get that it's
Um,
long, but I still
but
thought
no,
it'd do a cinema release.
wouldn't have been against a 2 hour, 21-minute long movie in the cinema. Do you know what I mean? I think Netflix picked it up, so it wasn't worth it for them to put it in the cinema. Do you know what I mean? Well,
Yeah, I know.
no,
No,
sorry,
I know.
this did get a cinema release.
In Ireland,
Yeah, it was in Dunleary and it was in Dundrum for a week.
it might have
The
been,
week,
yeah, 2 days in the cinema. That's not like I don't count that as a cinema release. That's
I
a
think.
viewing.
I think myself, this got a limited cinema release, just so it could be considered for the Oscars should it get there.
Yeah, see, I don't consider that a cinema release. If you're in the cinema for 2 or 3 showings, then it's a viewing. It's not a cinema release.
Right. I know
Not
it
to,
was just before Halloween that it came out because someone I know actually offered me tickets to go because they couldn't go to it, but they offered it to me at like 6 o'clock, and
too
the
late.
movie was at 7 o'clock or something. I was like, no.
Yeah, no, it was.
But it definitely did come out in the cinema over here.
Yeah, no, it was really good. That's why I was surprised. Like the cast that's in it, the man directing it, the subject
Well,
matter of it. I
with
mean, like Frankenstein's it's a big name. 80s Hammer horror, all of this stuff. Like obviously that goes a bit more into the horror direction of it, but the character of Frankenstein's monster is a huge, like,
yeah, well, it's still a universal monster, isn't it?
yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's still a huge name in horror monsters. Like, do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Obviously, as I said, the cast on this, you didn't expect that unless when Del Toro done it. The only thing I would have said that I probably surprised that Doug Jones wasn't casting it.
yeah,
Um, somewhere along the way, maybe not as Frankenstein this time, but somewhere along the way, he loves a bit of Doug Jones. He does.
he does, but I would say the reason that he didn't go Doug Jones is because he wanted a different Frankenstein this time. Do you know what I mean? Like he just wanted to
Yeah,
give someone else a chance at it. Or well, Frankenstein's a monster, not Frankenstein himself, but I think he
in,
just wanted to
in
give
order
somebody
to
else a
fit in.
chance. Sorry?
Elordi, the man who played
Yeah, yeah,
Frankenstein's monster, was
he was
brilliant.
brilliant. I thought Oscar Isaac was brilliant as well.
He's he stole the show. He was fantastic as Frankenstein.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
Um,
I actually thought everyone like I don't think there's no one I really sat there and was like, ah, they weren't great.
no, absolutely not. I think when you go through it and you watch, everyone kind of nailed their role down brilliantly, and that's nothing you don't expect from Del Toro. The man's a perfectionist in everything he does. So,
Oh yeah.
uh,
Even, the shipmates and the captain on the ship and stuff, I still thought they played their part brilliantly, even though it was very limited, like, and it was only a jumping off point for the story. Like they weren't really involved in the rest of the story, but I still thought
yeah,
they were all believable in what they were doing. Do you know what I mean?
the start was it the start and the finish? You get the two of them in it, the shipmates and the captain.
Yeah, you get the captain a little bit, and then he goes out and he's like, "Hey, settle down out here. We're not throwing him back out in the ice."
Yeah, I really enjoyed the idea of what they went with. The one gripe I said in the group as soon as I seen it was that I think they made him too strong. Um,
Mm,
like he rocks the boat early in the movie, like he's trying to tip the boat over. Now I know theoretically the monster was always
yeah.
abnormally strong, but this was a whole different level of strength.
See, I kind of took that as when he's in a bad mood, he is insanely strong. Like
Uh,
when he gets angry, it's just like that pure rage just takes over. And he's
yeah,
just able to
I mean that's a good way of taking it, actually. Yeah,
do whatever he kind of wants now. That's kind of thrown a bit overboard at the end then because he's like, oh, I'll free them, and he just pushes them out.
yeah,
But there's also that they have been digging at it and they've probably loosened it a little bit. And they were loosening it to try and get forward, not back. So it probably was easier to move back because the sea was still behind them anyway. Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
I mean,
he's a bit overpowered there. But I think for the rest of the film, I think the
yeah.
strength in him is, what you'd expect.
Obviously, we've seen hundreds of versions of Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster and Bride of Frankenstein. Everyone kind of knows the story of what it was, or should know the story of what it was along the way, maybe from the book. But obviously, we jump in and it starts with Frankenstein, then it goes to Frankenstein's story where he decides that he can re reincarnate. No, that's not even the right word, is it?
It is
What's the right
sort of like
phrase?
originally it's him as a child, and we just see how his dad wasn't really a very loving dad or anything. It wasn't really present or anything, because he looked more like his mother than he did his dad. And then when he had the brother looked more like the dad, but the mother died giving birth, and the dad was a bit more loving to the brother. And there
Dickhead.
was always, yeah, there was always he wasn't happy with his lot in life, and then he asked his dad like, "Could you have saved her?" And the dad was like, "No, no, I couldn't. I would have if I could have." And I don't think he really believes that. I think he's like, I think you probably could. You just didn't want to.
Yeah, I'd say the decision was either she'll die or the baby will die,
Yeah,
and
and
he
I
just
think that,
never kind of go into that.
yeah, well, I think that's kind of the whole thing is that he's questioning his dad, could you? And then he kind of makes a decision there and then that he's going to really concentrate on his studies, but he's going to be more interested in not necessarily the prevention of death, but the it's not reincarnation because
No,
that's not what he did. He rebuilding, but
I
like,
can't think of the word.
well, there's not really a word for it because you're not reincarnating. He is taking,
Yeah, there
um,
is. They use a word in the old movies. I just can't remember what it is.
yeah, it's just him using electromagnetic pulses to fire the heartbeat up. Now, it's obviously all fantasy and stuff because that just
I don't
obviously
know.
wouldn't work. But I like the story that they tell of when he presents it to the medical society, and
Yeah,
he pulls the plug on it because it looked, and when you're watching it you're like, oh, he's pulled the plug because they're giving out and they don't like it, and he's just showing them that you know it is animated, but then we hear later on from uh Herr Harlander, he's like, it was going to die anyway, wasn't it? You can't sustain it. And that's where the big plot point comes. Like,
How do
how
you
do I do
keep
it
it?
so yeah, how do I keep it going so that it doesn't die? And obviously he eventually figures it out with the help of,
Money.
no, like the money helps him because it helps him to build what he needs, but it's actually more to do with Mia Goth's character that he figures it out because she tells him about the butterfly and she kind of challenges him in a way that no one else does, and it gets him thinking in a different way. Like without her, I don't think he ever accomplishes this. And
How
it's not to impress her, it's more to prove to her that he can do it rather than to impress her that he did do it.
how strange of a role this was for her as well, having taken her last, say, 6 movies.
Yeah, but
Do you know what I mean? Obviously, X.
you don't turn down the chance to work with Del Toro, do you?
No, 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 no. I'm just saying in general. Like, when you look at sort of the roles she had, Suspiria, X, Pearl, Infinity Pool. Do you know what I mean? She's very free with, like, obviously her body and what they do, and everyone's kind of just become accustomed to it now. And
Yeah, and
then she's in this.
I think that's probably why she took this. Partly, obviously you get the chance to work with Del Toro, you get to work on a classic film, but you also get to show a different side of your acting. Like this acting is more innocent, kind of sweet girl,
Yeah,
like very, like I want to say motherly, but like, she's obviously still young, but the way she treats the monster is
oh, she's
very
yeah, she's
matronly. Do you
clearly
know what I
she's
mean?
clearly in love or infatuated with.
See, I don't think it's love. I think it's more of a, I
Sorry,
suppose you
not
could,
in love, but she
yeah,
does love it like a child.
yeah, I think you could call it love, but it's more of a motherly love, like teaching it to speak, that this is and she says it, this is a pure soul. He's not like other humans. This is a completely pure soul. He doesn't have any of the faults of
Evil.
humans, basically, like the,
Yeah.
passions, the anger, the desire. You know, he doesn't have that, which,
It's a blank slate for them to work with.
yeah, and then, she obviously poses did she pose the question or did Herr Himmler? I think she poses the question of when you put all these bodies together, did you like, did you think about the fact that it was multiple souls? And he was like, no, I didn't think about souls at all. They're just body parts. Like the soul isn't there. But we kind of figure out that that's not the case because the monster says it. He's like, I was getting flashes of different memories, different viewpoints of the war and stuff. So you do know that he,
Something's happening.
yeah, like he's getting different flashbacks, and obviously that can't all be the brain because the brain's only from one person. So that kind of leads to the fact that it's the soul remembering the things that have happened to the body, and he's
Yeah.
trying to process that.
I do like as well the one subtle point that they had, when he was just after the meeting with all the heads of the doctors or whatever, your man brings them the table where he puts
Yeah,
the body on, let it break down so all the nerves are on the table.
yeah, where it's like
How
crouched
fucking cool
over.
was that?
Yeah, where it's
No, no, no,
where,
no. No, so the table where it shows all the muscles and where the nerves
oh,
go.
sorry, yeah, the old
That,
wooden
that,
thing where
that
they
was
let a
savage.
body, yeah, where they let a body basically decay on it and then slowly
Yeah,
took it off to leave the
they
different
peel it back. Yeah,
yeah, to leave the different like nervous systems, the lymphoid
how
system and
good?
stuff.
How good was that? That was brilliant.
Yeah, see, and like I don't know if there is, but there probably is some historical truth to that because we had to work out that stuff some way. I'm not saying it was
Oh
done
yeah,
on, it probably wasn't done on purpose. It probably was a body left there, and then like, right, we have to get this off, and then they were like, wait, hang on, what's that? Because that's not what we knew of the body, so it was
yeah.
something new. Um, but yeah, that's
I
all
don't like.
very
It
interesting.
mightn't be real, but it looked pretty good, and it actually pushes the story along quite well, but so subtly done. Because then he knows, well, this is connected here now, and there's other stuff.
Yeah,
So
now.
when he's connecting everything, it works.
Yeah, and it's without knowing that he couldn't get a full body to to work, and then without Mia Goth's character giving him something, he wouldn't have figured out that you have to put the pin above the heart and stuff. Like he takes information from everyone. It's not that this isn't his creation. Do you know what I mean? Like it's his creation, but without all these people around him, he would never have
Yeah.
managed it.
It's a very Slumdog Millionaire kind of one, isn't it? Everyone gives him parts to the puzzle.
Yeah, sort of like he obviously comes from, insanely rich and well-educated background, so it's a bit different in that sense. But yeah, it's a learning curve, but he never appreciates that somebody else taught him anything. And that's the big thing. It's his passion, it's his like he's so self-centered and so like egotistical. He kind of forgets that other people told him these things, gave him this information. He's like, it's all me. I did this. And he obviously, by the end of it, he regrets it, and not necessarily because the monster is hunting him down and that it's killed people. Like that's not really what he regrets. He regrets the creation
Everything.
because even before it's actually killed anything, he regrets what he's done. Do you know what I mean? He's like, why did I do it?
Yeah.
When he goes
Well,
to
it gets to that by the end of his story.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like even when he goes to blow up the castle and then he realizes, oh, what have I done? And he tries to get back in, like,
Yeah. How sick did that look as well when his leg is blown off?
yeah, it's brilliant. And I like, the big electro, like the electric, like the thing
Yeah.
that, yeah, that took the lightning. It's slightly damaged because it fell slightly down the hole, so it's pointing out a little bit. So there's always the question of had the equipment not been damaged, would the monster have been brought to life in a more cognitive capacity? Like had it been done fully correctly rather than, a bit of the electricity shot off elsewhere.
Absolutely. And like it does lead to that, doesn't it? Would it have worked properly? Yeah. Would it have been perfect?
Yeah. Now, obviously, we find out during his story why uh, he was being given so much money to create this, but I don't even know if what the doctor wanted was possible because
Possible.
yeah, like this
No.
was creating a body and bringing it back to life. What he wanted was to transfer his consciousness, which isn't
He
like,
wanted to basically put his brain in.
yeah, which I understand, and it does raise the question of um if you put your brain in somebody else's body, are you still you or are you somebody else? Like, do your memories travel with you, or is that something different? Like, it's a question that no one can truly answer. Um, like you obviously have a wife and kids, but if something happened to you and we took your brain out of your head and put it into another human's body, would you still love your wife and kids? Would you even know your wife and kids? Because technically the memories are in your brain, but would you know? And that's what he wanted. He wanted to transfer his body, but that was never within the plans that like Victor Frankenstein was making. He was just, bringing a body back to life. He'd never even thought about transferring minds,
A human.
bodies, souls. So what was wanted was something that he was like, I don't even know if we can do that, so we can't try it because we don't know if it'll work.
So obviously the scene you're talking about when he figures it out that he's ill, right?
Yeah,
And he's like, "What is it?" And he starts naming off stuff. Me and Zoe had a laugh at this. So obviously he says that he has syphilis,
yeah,
all right, and that his brain is rotten and this, that, and the other. And I was like, and she looked at me and I looked at her and I was like, they're definitely not the symptoms that you have, right? So we had to go and look it up. And I was
to
like, they're definitely not.
not now, but like back then
Well, I
potentially
suppose if it gets out of
because
hand, probably, but
well, see, it also depends on what treatments were being taken back then. Like they thought it was a lack of iron in the body, so people were taking more iron, and there wasn't iron supplements, so it was just like drinking wild.
pints of the creamy stuff.
Yeah, like it was just drinking like a vial of iron and stuff like that, which it, probably more to do with iron or lead poisoning that actually rots the brain. But they like that they didn't know better back then. I don't know because I haven't looked it up, but I assume that that's actually what it is.
Uh,
Um,
well, it was just a look. I had to look at her, and she looked at me, and I was like, I don't know if that's the thing.
mm,
Now I know it's a movie, and it's about
yeah,
bringing someone back from the dead, but I had to look. We had a good laugh with it.
but yeah, I do love that he gets to the end of his story, and in the end of his story, it's just that he just left. Did like nothing else happened. He walked away, and that was it. And then the monster has just been chasing him
Burned.
since.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, like that's his story. And then obviously the door opens, the monster gets in. Now, how the monster got up there is another question. How the fuck did he get up there? They'd already taken up the ladder. Um,
Oh, onto the bow.
yeah, how did he get onto the boat? But he's
He
on the boat.
definitely jumped. He definitely jumped.
Yeah, you presume that's it, but then it's like, well, why didn't he just do that the first time? Did I mean? Like, if he's able
Yeah,
to do that, why wouldn't he?
or he rocked it till it was low enough.
No, because they would have noticed that. Did I mean? They would have noticed the boat
Yeah,
rocking around.
true.
So it's just kind of, well, he's up there now. That's that. Um,
Or did he do the old thing where they climb up the anchor?
well, it's that, or it's he's already told these guys, if you don't give me back Frankenstein, I am going to kill all of you. And we already know the crew were like, yeah, like, just throw him back. I'd have thrown him back. Fuck that. This lad that we can't kill
Yeah.
is hunting us down, and all he wants is
Oh,
this lad. Fucking take him. Like,
and
here,
he's
can you give us
he's
a
after mowing down about 10 of you at the start of it.
yeah? And then we shot him into the ice, and he came back. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, take him, and here, can you push us out while you're at it? Like, fucking get us out of here.
So yeah, so
So potentially they
that
let him
leaves the
up
question:
because
is it the crew when he's rocking the boat and he's like, "Let give him to me, and then I'll let you go,"
yeah,
because
it's
no
just
one
a
else dies then.
yeah, it's just did they eventually just be like, right, let's let him up. But he comes in and we're kind of at the end of Dr. Frankenstein's story, and you're like, ooh, this could go either way. So as I said to you, this you could have ended the film here, like just
Yeah,
end the film. That's
that's
it, and
probably an
then
hour 20 into it.
yeah, so you could end the film there and then do a second film from um
The other side.
Monster's point of view. But I'm glad they didn't because it would have just been right, turn this off, and then obviously you don't put in a disc now, you just have to click into the next one, but it's just clicking into the next one, and if you're wanting to watch it, it's just like, oh, let me just keep watching here. So he comes in and he's like, oh, he's just told me your story and or his story and how sad he is about what he did and he regrets it and this, that, and then the monster's like, well, hang on, let me tell you the rest of this fucking story. Hang on now.
He got his version.
No, so that's what I find interesting. The monster doesn't contradict anything in his story at all.
Yeah,
He just
he just fills in the rest of it.
yeah, he just continues on with it. He doesn't contradict anything. He doesn't say that anything was a lie, that I was chained down in the basement, that the only word I was saying was Victor. Um, like he doesn't contradict anything. And obviously Frankenstein, like Victor Frankenstein is like, yeah, hair Hairlander died and I blamed it on the monster. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he tells them that he's not lying about that anymore in the story.
He technically didn't lie about anything, really.
No, well, he does lie in the when he's telling his brother about it.
No, no, but to the captain and all,
Yeah,
from
when
what
he
we
when,
see, all for the purposes, he's not lying about anything.
yeah, so when he tells the story to the captain, he tells basically the whole truth, and that's you know partly because he knows he's dying, and then partly because he's just so racked with guilt. And you don't really understand why he's so racked with guilt until you hear the monster story. And I like the
Yeah,
monster story because I think it would have been a bit shit if you just went through the story again. It just didn't. It just went right. Here's what happened in the explosion and how I got away. And we saw earlier that he'd figured out that he could get out down that way by watching the leaves go down there and stuff.
yeah, he watched everything fall down, so he knew there's an exit.
Yeah, well, he'd watched a leaf and then brought another leaf and let that one flow, and then that's what he was doing. So he obviously knew his way out. And then I like that, he doesn't know how to speak. He hasn't learned to speak and stuff because Victor Frankenstein doesn't teach him. Like that's the whole thing. Frankenstein just goes, "You're alive. Why can't you do anything?" You know, imagine having a kid and being like, "Why can't you fucking do it? Like, what's wrong with you?"
Yeah,
Why can't you
that's
talk? Like,
basically what
what's
it is.
yeah? He's just like,
He's built himself a child that
yeah. And he's just like, why can't you
doesn't
fucking do
know
anything? Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Why can't you do anything? And then
the.
chains him up because he
That,
can't do anything.
yeah, that's
Do
where
you know what I mean?
Mia Gott's quite integral. That's why Mia Gott's quite integral in this, in technically in both
Yeah,
sides of the story.
yeah.
She
They
was the
both,
linchpin.
yeah, but like that's the thing. He obviously is infatuated with her. Like Victor Frankenstein's infatuated with her. I don't know if I'd ever say he loved her. He's infatuated with her because she challenges him and she doesn't give him what he wants. And I think he believes he's in love, but I don't think he ever actually is. I think he's just infatuated with the idea. Yeah, like he's infatuated with the idea of her. Whereas I think the monster loves her, but not romantically. I think again, it's he loves her like a mother.
Yeah, that's the way I
Um,
took it. Yeah, because
yeah,
even on the wedding day, it wasn't even trying to kiss her. It was a hug.
yeah, like he just wanted to see her again and things like that. But I like that they kept those two things very separate and clear. So she is integral to this, and it ties back to the very start where Victor is, you know, in love with his, not in love, but like loves his mother so dearly. And it ties back to that because his dad didn't treat him well, but his mom treated him very well. So the only way he knew how to raise was through, you know, pain and punishment from a
Yeah,
father figure because we see his dad
locked,
whip his
locked up.
face and yeah, we see his dad whip his face, not his hands and things like that. Like that's how he learned. That's how a man teaches, and a woman will teach in a different way. But
Yeah,
he doesn't comprehend that. So Monster tells his story, and I like the story because he, you know, he's in the forest, and you know, we do see the pure side of him. He's just eating berries, and then feeding the deer, and then the deer gets shot, and he, you know, then he gets shot and he had to run away.
I
Um,
made to say that the gunshot wounds in this look exceptional. Where he's being shot, and you see the blood just spray everywhere.
that is what I did like. That when he gets shot, it's not nothing. It still hurts him.
Mm,
Like he definitely
yeah,
feels it, and it definitely rips through him.
mm.
But it just
And the blood, like even
heals.
the blood pouring out of him, and like even when he gets cut,
Yeah,
um, later
it
on, and like it's the blood dripping out of him as normal.
yeah, it heals quickly, but not instantly. Do you know what I mean? It's not like in, you know, X-Men where Wolverine heals basically instantly. This is like it's going to bleed out, it's going to hurt, and then eventually over kind of a minute or two, yeah, it'll
It'll
heal up.
stop.
Yeah, but if he takes too much damage, he basically does die and
Yeah,
just
he hits the reset button.
yeah, like he basically dies and just then it just powers back up like. So yeah, he tells the story, and I like the bit where he's kind of hiding in the barn, and you know he's
I
listening to the little girl
Yeah,
learning to read and stuff.
that's my favorite bit of the whole film.
Yeah, and then
That
he,
15-minute segment.
yeah, and then he becomes friends with the old man, the
Yeah,
blind old
where
man.
he's the spirit of the forest, and he's like building, chopping the wood down, and leaving it for them.
Yeah, but then like, when they all leave and the old man stays behind and he becomes like actual friends with him. I like that because the old man is like, I killed a man, and you know, yeah, he's not like I'm a great person. He's very open about the fact that he killed a man and it wasn't in self-defense, and he's regretted it since, and this, that, and the other. And I think the monster kind of learns from that you know, well, he has
Remorse.
killed, well, he's killed in self-defense. He tries not to kill in rage, but then he obviously does. You know, like it's never really in like he gets angry about it, but it's always when somebody shoots him or attacks him first. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
even
it
with
is all self-defense with him.
yeah, and even when he's chasing Victor, it's you know they're like, oh, there's blood everywhere, but he's unharmed. The dogs are unharmed. Like he doesn't harm Frankenstein, like Victor Frankenstein at all. He's just trying to get
Mm,
him.
yeah. And he just tortures him. Yeah,
Yeah, well, see, I don't even know that he tortures him. I think he's just trying to get to him, and he's like, "You need to build me a wife." Now, I don't think it would have been possible because obviously they burned the place down. How are you going to rebuild it? How are you going to do everything?
yeah.
And you know, obviously you need to get a lot of fucking female body parts and stuff. Um, so I don't know what he
It
thought was going to
does.
happen.
It does set up the Bride of Frankenstein, though. Really, if Del
It
Toro
does.
wants to go that way.
It does, but it means that somebody else has to do it, or
Yeah,
Frankenstein has to do it himself, or like
but
the monster has to do it himself.
there's no way the monster can do it.
Well, see, he has the notes, and he does seem capable of learning, so potentially he can, but I don't see him being able to do it because you need to buy all the stuff, you need to, you need lightning, you need all of this stuff, and you need to understand what you're doing. So I don't think Del Toro will do a Bride of Frankenstein. I think this is a standalone. I think this will be it from him.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
would think so.
but yeah, the whole like the horror part of this is from Victor's point, it's the horror of what have I created, what have I done, and then from the monster's point of view, it's the horror of knowing you'll live forever, that nothing can kill you, but you'll never be able to live a life with a companion. And it doesn't even like he asks for a wife, but it doesn't even necessarily need to be a wife because the whole thing of this comes from when he loses the blind old man to the wolves.
Yeah,
It's
that
just
that whole
a
scene
friend.
was yeah, that whole scene was brilliant. Like the from being in the barn and when the wolves attack the goats or the sheep,
Yeah,
but the wolves know he's in there because they're trying to get in.
they know something's in there. Yeah,
Yeah, apart from the rats.
yeah. Well, wolves aren't
Yeah.
interested in any feckin' rats.
Now,
Um,
I would have liked to see one of them get in and then
see,
maybe find the dead wolf.
I think if one of them gets in, then they'll look in the barn and be like, "Where's that wolf gone?" And they'll see the dead one, and they'll be like, "What the hell did that?" So I think
No,
it need
that's what I would have liked to have seen, and then them start to push out a little bit and go, well, what's going on here?
see. Yeah, I guess you could do that, but I think that would mean that they'd be like, "Hang on, we know there's something that killed a wolf hanging around the house, so
Yeah, we can't leave the old man here.
we're not fucking leaving you here if that thing's around." Like, because they've already seen some, like they don't know what it is, but they're like, "It's something," and we've shot it and it didn't
Yeah,
die. Like so.
yeah. It didn't go down.
Yeah, and they obviously do get it down eventually, and then he's like, "Oh, I don't know how long I was out for," but that means they just shot him and left him there. They're like, "All right, he's dead now."
Well,
Well,
he
like,
ran, didn't he?
no, he passed out on the ground, and he
No,
was
no.
like,
So they shoot him first when they're on top of the
"No, no."
stone, and then he
The first
moves.
time, yeah, I'm talking about after the old man dies. They shoot him and they kill him,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and they just walk off. They're just like, "Yeah, just leave him there." Like,
That
what the fuck?
that same with the wolves though when they come in and attack the old man, he hears it and he's like, oh no.
Yeah, but like they just leave him there. It's like, what the fuck are you leaving this guy there for? Like, where the fuck are you going? And then you come back
Yeah.
and the body's not there anymore. What the fuck would you be thinking? You'd be like, what the fuck? Where's he gone?
The only thing you can think of there is the wolves took him.
Yeah, but they've gone hunting the wolves, so it's like, we've gone and killed all
Yeah,
them
but
wolves. Who the fuck got
they
this?
didn't do a good fucking job, did they?
Well, no, they hadn't gone hunting them. They were only going hunting them after they'd brought the mother and the daughter to safety. So when they came back and found the wolves had killed them, it was then that they were going to go hunting the wolves. So they haven't done it yet.
Yeah, true.
But it means that they went out and hunted the wolves after they thought they killed the monster, and then they came back and he wasn't there.
How fucking sick was it where he rips your man's jaw off as well?
The wolf.
No, do you know when the lads come in and they start shooting at him, the first person that goes to him, he grabs him by the jaw and pulls
Oh
his
yeah, just
bottom jaw.
yeah. It just shows that yeah, again, it's in self-defense and it's just unbridled power, like.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it looked nasty.
he discovers, how he was created and all this, and then he's like, right, the only friend I had is dead. I know how I was created. I know I can't die, so I need a companion now. And
Yeah,
that's all his story is. And he doesn't try to hurt Victor at any point. He obviously, when they're in the room, when Victor says no, he throws him around a bit. But um,
little
he's
bitch.
yeah, he doesn't seem to be intent on actually hurting him. He's just like, you are going to do this for me. And then obviously, Victor shoots Mia Goth's character. He's
Oh,
two kills in this film. You know what I mean?
he's a beast. He is.
He's
No,
killed
I
two
think.
people and blamed them both on the monster.
And to be fair, he tried to blow the monster up too. I don't know how. No, I honestly don't know why that didn't work in terms of the way the story went. How the monster didn't lose his arm or his hand or something.
No, because he escaped down that fucking tunnel thing.
No, right coming towards the end when they're on the snow and the monster's coming into his tent. Just before he finds the lads on the ship, he hands him a stick of dynamite.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How that
I
didn't blow the monster's hands off or whatever.
I think it does. I think they just reattach. Like we see when his hands are broken and fingers are like hanging on by a thread, they just reattach. So
Maybe. Maybe.
it's just that things reattach. Like that's all it is. But yeah, we see him. He's trying to escape the monster now. He's just going to the ends of the earth to escape him, and the monster's just like, I'm just going to, gonna Mike
I'm
Myers
just
you
gonna
here.
keep walking. I'm gonna keep walking you down. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna Mike Myers you. I'm just gonna keep walking, and I'm just gonna catch up to you eventually because I don't need to sleep. I don't actually need to eat. I don't need to do anything. I just walk you down here.
Um. Obviously, then you get the scene where the three of them, the captain, Frankenstein, and the creature are in the cabin in the boat, and
Yeah, where he
it's
forgives him, sort of.
yeah.
Yeah,
He kind of just feels pity for him, doesn't he? And just
I think I think at that point both Frankenstein and the monster understand that the other one is in pain, that it's not just you're like, I hate you. Do you know what I mean? I
yeah,
think Frankenstein obviously realizes, like, yeah, I've created something that can't die and, it's going to go through its life with without the ability to make a friend or a companion. And even if it does, people won't accept it and he'll have to watch them grow old and die.
he'll have to go and work for the monsters.
And then from the monster's point of view, he realizes that Victor regrets what he did, that he wishes he hadn't done it.
Yeah,
Um, that he did it thinking that there was that he could do something with this, and realized no, I all I
that's
can do is create. I can't
it's
develop
the
from there.
final, it's
I've
the final forgiveness, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, like Victor's whole thing was he was driven to get to there. And then once he reached the point that he wanted to reach, he was like, I have no more goals, and like I have nothing else that I want to do. This is it. Like I've accomplished everything now. And he doesn't know what to do with
I mean,
himself.
reanimated is the word I was trying to think of earlier.
That's what we said earlier.
No, I said reincarnated.
Right, yeah. I've said animated a few times.
Yeah. I couldn't
But
think of it. I mean, it's been racking my brain since then. I'm like, no, I know what the word is.
yeah, yeah, it's a nice they forgive each other scene, and then the captain realizes, based on the mistake of Victor, he's like, sometimes pushing forward isn't the answer. Sometimes you just have to give up on this dream. And then he's like, right, lads, we're going back. And the lads are like, ew,
Uh, let's go home.
we're all going home after this fucking monster frees us.
What about
Um,
the poor guys that he rips apart at the start? That
they're
six or
dead.
seven of them just destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just, they shouldn't have shot at him. That was their fault.
Yeah. True. True.
If
He wasn't after them.
Yeah, he said, if you just give me that guy, I'll leave you as be. But yeah, like those are the big names. Like obviously you have Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, Jacob Elordi. I don't really know him from anything else outside of this, but I thought he was brilliant. Um, but like in turn, like other big names are like, you kind of forget that Charles Dance was the dad at the start of this.
Yeah. Charles
You know what I
Dance
mean?
is made for those roles, really. And he's
Yeah,
ageless at this stage.
yeah. I thought Christopher Waltz was brilliant as well as
Oh, Walt's was fantastic.
hair
Walt's
handler.
fantastic. I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I like you kind of forget about them because the story is about them a bit, but like they're not the main. Like the main three are Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, and the creature. They're like Jacob Ellery. Like the brothers in it a bit. I thought he was quite good as well. Just he didn't feature in it a whole lot.
They all moved the story along quite well.
Yeah, exactly. And I I liked the film. I thought it was really good. It's not something I'll be rushing to
Rushing back.
rewatch. I actually think it's quite similar to Nosferatu in some ways. Nosferatu is a little bit more brutal in like
Yeah,
that the
that's
creature
right.
is an actual like beast. But in terms of the way it's shot, the way the story is told, everything like that, I think it's quite similar to that. Like I wasn't going to be rushing to watch Nosferatu a second time. It's very good and I really enjoyed it, but it's not like, oh, I want to watch that again. And
I
this is the same.
will I will watch Nosferatu quicker than I'd watch this.
I think I'd watch either of them, but like I wouldn't, when you're sitting down, you're like, oh, I kind of want to watch something. I'd be like, oh, I'll put on Scream, I'll put on Jaws, like those are the horror. Obviously, I'd put on Space Jam whenever, but like there's a lot of things you'd put on and just be like, right, I'm just in the mood for something to watch. These are you have to sit down and you actually
Yeah, you have to lock
concentrate.
in.
And you don't even need to lock in. It's because the story isn't difficult. It's just if you're not paying attention to it, there's not enough action, there's not enough things happening in it to be like this will pull you back in. If you stop paying attention, you could just end up not
Drift.
watching it. Yeah, you'll just
Yeah,
end up playing on your phone or whatever. You won't be doing anything. So it's very good in that sense. I didn't feel you said you felt it dragged a little bit when we were chatting, but
I did, definitely did.
I don't think it dragged at all because I think the two different stories were done quite well. I think yeah, there's bits you probably could have cut out, but I don't think anything was like, oh, if you'd cut that out, it wouldn't have affected it. I think everything was kind of needed. Each part of the story built more into the ending.
Yeah, I think for me, it obviously knowing what Del Toro's like. Obviously, with Mimic at the start, he was proper dark horror. Um, Obviously, we've seen Hellboy. Was kind of an action, but had a bit of a love story. Shape of Water was a weird alien love story that Doug Jones said that he pitched to him, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, but this one, I expected a love story. I just didn't expect it to be as prominent.
See, I
Um,
know we said there
it
was
seemed like I
elements
think
of
it was like everybody was vying for Mia Goth, and the brother obviously being the one that had nothing to do with any of it really.
yeah.
Um,
See, I never felt it was a love story.
oh,
At no point,
okay.
like I've said that the monster loves her in
Uh,
like a mother, and she loves him like a son, and I think the brother loved her. I don't know that she necessarily loved him. I think Victor Frankenstein was infatuated. I don't think he actually loved her, but I don't think love was the central plot. Like you've
uh,
said that you think it is. I don't think it's. I think it's kind of like yeah, it exists in the way that love exists in the world, but I don't think
I think
it.
they're all vying for her.
See, I don't think they are. I don't think there's any element of vying. Like Victor Frankenstein is vying to create this creature and then regrets it. Like the main story for him is regret. And then the monster isn't vying for her, he's just vying for any sort of companionship. And then at the end of it, his biggest thing is regret. Um, the brother obviously massive regret in the sense that, he introduced his
Wife.
wife to be um to his
That was
brother
the
and that got her killed. Do you know what I mean? Like
that was the shortest marriage ever.
Yeah, but that's what I
No,
mean. I
sorry,
don't
Uma Thurman in Kill Bill was probably the shortest.
no, I don't think they got married.
Oh no, yeah, he shoots her beforehand, didn't he?
Yeah, he shoots her beforehand, but I don't. I don't think. I think it's more. There's more regret in the storyline than there is love. I think love is an element of it, but I don't think it's like. I don't think there's. I would never class this into a love story.
Yeah. Well, to the listeners, let us know what you think. Would you agree with Ted's um view on it, or would you agree with mine that I found it too much for me now? As I said, too much of a love triangle story. I think they played into it too much. I think they made him too strong. Now, as I said, obviously Ted made the point where he thinks once they go into a rage, it got stronger. And that definitely looks the case because when he's fighting the wolves, it, it becomes a bit harder for him.
Yeah, and then when he loses his temper, he
Yeah.
fucking tears through them.
Yeah. Like overall, it's exactly what I expected from a Del Toro film. Absolutely beautifully shot. Like you were never going
Yeah,
to get much better in that timepiece than he could do. Maybe Robert Eggers might have.
yeah. See, as I
His
said
is a
at the
different
start,
style though.
I would love Del Toro to do this again and go more horror route. I would love to see him do a horror one, but I don't think Del Toro's interested in that anymore. And you can kind of see that by Shape of Water. And then by
Yeah.
this, he's less interested in pure, like, brutal
Keep the horror
horror.
elements.
Yeah, well, like there's an element of horror to it, but the horror is more about if you had to live this life, or would you do this? Like the horror of regrets and living with those regrets and things like that's more what it's about than, you know, yes, the monster's extraordinarily strong and there's a few good kills in it, but he's not going into the town and brutalizing anyone and ripping
Yeah.
through people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like the big green monster that we've seen in years gone by.
Yeah, and like you could have gone that story because when he's hiding in the uh like whatever it is, like not a garage, but whatever the fuck it is, like next to the
The
house.
barn thing.
Yeah, like when he's hiding in that, you could have had him be like, right, these are the guys who shot that deer, and I'm angry because that deer appeared to be kind of friendly to him. It was eating the berries out of his hand. It wasn't scared of him. It wasn't running away, things like that. And you could have then gone for the story of, oh, this is why he became a monster. He saw these guys kill something innocent and pure, and he just brutalizes that whole family and leaves the blind man and the little girl potentially. Like he kills the hunters, the men who are a danger to everything. But like that'll end up getting the family killed because then the wolves will come and kill them. And he could be going through towns like, right, I'm after Victor Frankenstein. Anyone who gets in the way, I'm just going to like. It's not going to be give him to me.
I'm
It's
just
just
gonna
going to be,
mow you down.
yeah, just mow everyone out. Like he could have gone that side of the story and gone that way. So the first half could have been exactly the same, and then he could have changed it. But that's not what he wants to. Doesn't appear that's what he wants to do. I won't say it's not because I don't know the guy, and he could come out with a film next year where he does do that, but it doesn't look like that's the interest he has in what he's creating anymore.
Yeah, I do, and like watching his development of films over the years, you can see it is definitely going that way.
Yeah,
Nearly every film has some horror element to it, and like obviously with Shape of Water was a strange one. Like that one was just completely out of left field for me.
I think it was
Um,
for everyone.
yeah, and obviously we spoke to Doug over in Manchester, and he was like, "Yeah, when they pitched that story,
I
yeah,
was like,
it's a
what the
weird
fuck?
alien fish love story." I was like, "All right."
Oh, okay, yeah, fine, I'll do it. But like
It's gonna make it's gonna make 100 million quid, and you're gonna do it anyway. So
as he said, he just implicitly trusted Del Toro. He was like, well, if this guy's saying it's going to make money, I'll trust him. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what I mean? Like we've seen that with directors and actors before. Obviously, Scorsese and De Niro. Now Scorsese and DiCaprio. They
yeah,
just work. When you have a guy, it works.
yeah. If you know somebody's good at this type of role and that's the type of film you like doing, why wouldn't you get him again? Do you know what I mean? And
So
he's going to work with you because he liked you the first time. So
so now going into the burning question, right? So obviously we mentioned at the start of the show that it did have a theatrical release, even if it was only for a short time, right? It qualifies theoretically for an Oscar, right? Now, the
mm,
amount of talk that I've seen that it already should be hands on for best supporting actor, would you agree with that?
um, I think there's a shout for him to win it, but I don't think he'll win it.
I don't think he'll even get close to it.
I think he'll get nominated. I think they'll be willing to nominate him, but it'll be a nomination as a nod to Del Toro. Like, here you go, we've nominated him
Yeah,
for you. But I don't
yeah.
think the
I think Oscar Isaac.
Oscars they don't
Like,
they don't like horror. You know what I mean? And
it's very rare.
even though this isn't pure horror, they don't. This, the Oscars like certain things. So when people are like, "Oh, he's an Oscar winner," I'm like, "Well, yes, I've seen some of the films that have won Oscars and they're shit." Like,
Yeah. Um, like I was looking at it and I'm like, there's no chance he wins that Oscar. No chance. I'd be very surprised if he beat Sean Penn this year.
yeah, see, I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't think you've seen that one, have you?
No, but I don't think they really like Sean Penn either, so I don't think he'll win it.
I don't know. Sean Penn has two Oscars.
Yeah, but he kind of had a bit of a falling out with them a while ago about something. I have that in my head. I
Well,
could be wrong, but I think he had a
that'd
falling
be
out with
that'd
them.
be my pick as of now from the movies that I've seen.
Yeah, see, they could go anyway, but
But
this is the
do they
thing with the
then?
Oscars.
They could switch it up and say, well, is Oscar Isaac the supporting cast
See, I suppose then it comes down to who is there only one supporting actor in this, and is it Mia Goth? Are the two of them main characters? Like they both tell their own story, so they each have an hour and a half of a story. So
eh,
they're a supporting actor to each other, and she's the only one that's a supporting actor throughout the film.
potentially?
But
Now,
I
as
don't
I
think
said,
any of them are winning anything. They
no
might win.
design, costume design, I'd say, or creature design, maybe.
Yeah, creature design, adaptation, maybe. Like they might win
No,
that
they could definitely get in on that. Yeah,
because that's this is going to be a solid adaptation. It's very. I haven't read the
yeah.
book, but it is close to the book by all reports. Like this is closer to the
It's
book than
it's
most of the
brilliantly
things.
shot. It's definitely an Oscar shot movie.
Yeah, it's shot in the way of an Oscar, but they just don't really like them. Do you know what I mean? Horror don't win Oscars, and then that's just
Yeah,
kind of the way it is. And that's that when you're shooting it. Do you know what I mean? I'm unlikely to win this, so I don't think they'll win much. I think if they do, it'll be the what are considered the lesser Oscars.
categories.
Yeah, the adaptation, the props, the effects. I think they might win something there, but they're considered the lesser Oscars. They're not the main ones. They're not the ones you want to be winning, and I don't think they'll win those. But then again, I've
Okay.
seen other things that I'm like, well, that's going to win an Oscar, and then it's not even nominated. So
Yeah, it's mad. It's
who
mad. It is.
who knows?
Um, right. Final question then of the evening. One. Give me a rating out of five. Many slabs are you giving it?
Um, don't know. I always kind of struggle with ratings because I do think it was very good, but I try to keep rewatchability in a rating as well. And as I said, I don't think I'm going to rewatch this all that quick. But if it was on, I would, if someone put it on, I'd watch it. I wouldn't be like, oh, I've already seen
Yeah.
this. I think I'll go 3.5.
Okay.
Closer to the four side of 3.5 than it is to the three. But
Okay.
um, I wouldn't argue if somebody said four. I don't think it's five because it's not exactly the way I would have wanted the film to be, and that's what ratings come down to. They come down to personal opinion. I would have liked a more brutal
Yeah.
monster, but that's not what this film was about, and it was very good at what it did. So if I base it on what it did, it's probably a four. Um,
Fair enough.
if
Fair
I
enough.
take into what I wanted, 3.5, closer to a four.
Fair. For me, obviously, I voiced my opinions on it. I thought it was too strong. I thought it was a bit more of a love story than I was fully expecting. Um, for me, though, it's beautifully shot.
Yeah, it's
Um,
amazingly shot. Yeah,
acting was brilliant. I was gonna go like I hemmed and hawed. I was gonna go straight down the middle at two, but I think I'm going 3 out of 5 here because rewatchability isn't going to be high on the list.
yeah. I think two would be too low because it means you're rating it below the halfway point. Do you know what I mean? Like
No,
I do.
two and a half. Sorry, 2.5.
Yeah, but even
I
that,
was
I
gonna
still
go
feel
right
like,
down the middle.
yeah, but I still feel that's low. Like I'm even
Yeah, it was.
debating my 3.5. Like I, I think an argument could be made. If somebody made an argument, I'd be able to be pushed to four very easily, I think.
Yeah, no, three for me now is probably about as best it'll go.
I'll go 3.75, right? I know we normally just do it in halves, but I'll go 3 3/4 if we're doing
Fair
that as
enough.
well.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
You did say it was on the other side of the half mark anyway.
Yeah, like it was closer to a four than it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? So
That's fair. Look, don't get me wrong. As I said, beautifully shot. Rewatchability is a big thing for me. Um, but yeah, three stars or three slabs for me.
yeah, so we kind of level out at around the 3.5 mark between the two of
Yeah,
us.
give or take.
But yeah,
Um,
anyone who's watched this, let us know what you think. Do you agree with me or Greg on the which way it is? Is it more of a love story or is it more of you know, just a story of regret and, self-loathing, or does it fall more into the love story?
yeah. You'll find it. You'll find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Let us know underneath the video, and we're always quite active on it. I'll always come back to you with an answer.
Yeah.
I mightn't like your opinion on it, but I do value when people tell me things.
Oh, well, that's how you learn to appreciate films differently. Like, 10 years ago, I probably would have watched this and been like, that was drivel, because I wouldn't have appreciated
Yeah,
the cinematic effect. Like, over the years of watching more films and listening to people with
different
like
views.
different views and people who've directed, like not necessarily directed films, but studied filmography and stuff like that, listening to them, it has made me look at films in a different way as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as I said, I would have been the same as you. 10
Yeah,
years ago, this is dribble, absolute dribble, and I'll
yeah,
never
too
watch it again.
long. Yeah, too long. No one attacking anyone. Shit. You know,
That's not the fucking Frankenstein I want to
now
see.
that's probably more 20 years ago. That's probably in my teenage years. Now this is shit. Like no one's killed anyone. What the fuck's going on here? Like this shit. That's probably closer into my teenage years. I did get, as I got old, as you get older, you do appreciate things in a different way.
We're giving away the age here.
Yeah, but as you get older, you start
Yeah.
to appreciate things in a different way. I think the fact that Space Jam is my favorite film gives away my age quite a lot anyway.
um. Yeah. Well, that's for a different story on a different day.
Yeah, well,
Um.
that's not horror, it's just, but it is the greatest film ever made. The original Space
False.
Jam, the original Space Jam, not the second one. The second one's good,
False.
but it's not as good as the first.
False. It's
Nope.
not Big Trouble Little China.
Nah, Big Trouble in Little China is not really kid friendly. That gives Space Jam the edge over it.
It absolutely is kid friendly.
Oh, it's not.
We'll say nothing. Um. But what we'll do, folks, is we'll leave it here, and I'll leave this the way I leave every single Friday night. In the words of the great George A. Romero, ladies and gentlemen,
Space Jam's the
stay
greatest film
scared.
ever.
False.
That's what George A. Romero said. You heard it here.